Hello. So if you've been following the comic, the latest story arc takes place in a climbing gym because I love rock climbing and I love comics, and I wanted to put the two together like Reese's Pieces to form something awesome and hopefully not bore my readers too much with talk about shoe rubber and climbing holds and grades and all that kind of stuff. An anonymous Tumblr user wrote in and asked me if I had heard of a climbing manga called Koko no Hito, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I hadn't heard about it, but I thought to myself, of course Japan has climbing comics, because they have comics for everything else. They've got salaryman comics, they've got baking comics, there's comics about driving, there's comics about tennis, soccer, basketball, sexy time, and of course superhero comics. And it's if humans do it at any point in their lifetime, there's bound to be a manga about it, which I think is absolutely awesome. And you know, I found that if you go to any other market than the United States, if you go to the European comic market and the Asian comic market, you know, comics mean a whole bunch of different things. They span many disparate genres, like climbing, like cooking, like baking, like horror and mystery and noir and all that kind of stuff. And when you hear about comics overseas, it's this, you know, there's this reverence to it. There's this reverence with it, and you know, you can talk about things like mystery comics and all that kind of stuff. Yet when you come here to the United States and you hear comics, the first thought is most likely superheroes with giant muscles and women with double D's, because apparently if you're a female in the comics, the boobs are the minimum requirement. The rest of it, you know, you figure it out on your own. But if you're like anything below a C cup, you just don't get drawn. So, that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy going to Small Press Expo, and why I also enjoy being a web cartoonist, because Small Press attracts a lot of the independent cartoonists who aren't drawing superhero stuff. A lot of these cartoonists are doing biographical comics, or stuff that you just, you know, avant-garde stuff that you just wouldn't see published by a traditional publisher. A lot of them are doing their own kind of thing, with varying subjects that, you know, from like war comics to funny humor comics to personal stories, to sweeping epics, you know, a whole variety of stuff. And you walk through the aisles at SPX and you see that comics aren't just about superheroes or giant boobs or superpowers or lasers and this kind of thing. They can be about anything. And that's also why I like webcomics, because, you know, you fire up your favorite web cartoon and it's probably not superheroes. It's probably something about gaming, or maybe it's about science, or maybe it's about like fonts or anything like that. You know, webcomics span the breadth of human activity. If people do it, there's a webcomic about it. And I think that's great, and that's why Small Press is so fucking awesome. Small Press Expo is so fucking awesome, because you get that same kind of feeling. Like, these comics are about what people do at any point in their given lifetime. Which also brings me to this whole DC Comics reboot, reissue, whatever the fuck they're doing. Now, leading up to it, everybody, you know, their press was saying that, you know, we're trying to recapture the heart of comics. We're trying to bring back new readers. We're trying to bring back the readers that we lost. But to me, and I've seen a couple of the books that have come out, and I've read a few of them, it seems to me that they're going for that same demographic, the 25 to 35-year-old dudes who like superheroes and capes and babes and all that kind of stuff, which is great, because, you know, they do need to bring back some of those old-timers who used to collect comics and just dropped them. You know, I even picked up one of the DC books, and I'm a Marvel guy. But, I mean, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot, because, you know, it's a very small segment of the whole potential market out there. Like, superhero comics is a very small genre compared to the breadth of stuff that is possible for people to write about. And I really think that this isn't really DC's, people are talking about this thing as like, a revolution in comics. It's not really a revolution in comics. I mean, the idea of being able to buy the digital version the same day the print version comes out, that's actually pretty cool. That is actually revolutionary. And although I think the prices are a little too high for digital copies, I mean, because you're not paying for printing, you're not paying for shipping, you're just paying for bandwidth, and you're not even fucking paying for that. Someone else is hosting that. So that is the revolutionary part of this revamp. But the rest of it, it's all the same shit. Like, it's all spandex, it's all heroes, it's all punching and kicking and boobs and stuff. And I think that if one of the major two wanted to actually revolutionize what they're known for, they would expand into some of these other areas that manga easily jumps into, or the bande dessinée in France easily jump into, or the comic digests in England easily jump into. But they don't do that. They're not doing that. And until they do that, I think they're just going to be feeding off this market that just keeps getting older and older and older, and less interested, because there are other things out there that are grabbing people's interests. So, certainly kids aren't going to be picking up the new comics. I mean, they might try them out on their iPads and iPhones and stuff, but they're not going to subscribe. They're not going to collect these as rapidly as my generation did. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on comics in general, I guess, and why Small Press Expo is so awesome, and why I'm so much looking forward to going over the weekend. So, that's it for now. I guess I'll check you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have an opinion on, the state of comics and the kinds of comics you like to read, drop me a comment on the YouTubes, or send me an email, Twitter, Tumblr, whatever. However you want to get in contact with me, I will answer your call. Thanks for watching, and I'll check you later. Bye.